Hi, and welcome back to Misadventures of a Schizophrenic. I am RG Tanner, and this is where I chronicle what life is like as a day-to-day schizophrenic. Last time I told you just a little snippet of who I am, but I thought today I'd cover my childhood because it's really rare for a child to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, be they male or female. And I just wanted to talk about what that was kind of like for me. Because honestly, I didn't know anything was amiss. I didn't realize that anything was wrong. I thought that everybody saw these things, that everybody was anxious to see their mom at the end of the day. I did not realize that these emotions, that these visual and tactile and audio, even, sometimes the smell of hallucinations, I didn't realize that people did not experience these things, because how do you tell a 6-year-old kid that their imaginary friend is just a tidbit more real than in their head than you would like them to admit, and also that it's taken on a life of its own? For example, when I was in 1st grade, I made friends with a bunch of little purple aliens, and I thought that they were the greatest people in the world, and I tried to include all of my classmates with them. I thought that they would be so fascinated to learn about these aliens whose leader's name was Guido. And when they said they couldn't see them, I couldn't understand why not. It didn't make sense to me. I was like, I must be special. In my mind, my schizophrenia was like my superpower. I got to see things, experience things, feel things that most people never got to experience within their realm of normal psyche. And maybe I was gifted with a special talent. I don't know. I have to look at it with some sense of humor and look at it with a little bit of levity. Otherwise, it'll just drown me. I think that can be said of any mental illness. When I was a kid, I was so afraid that my mom wasn't going to pick me up at the end of the day, that somehow she'd forget about me. And while I recognize as an adult that that is a completely absurd fear, it still was there. And one thing that you have to recognize about schizophrenics is that they experience things the same as everybody else. They're just heightened a little bit. So normal people are right about here on this level, and a schizophrenic is up here on this level with what they feel. Everything is just that much more potent, that much more powerful, and that much more overwhelming. And so it's not that we're so different. We are very much the same. We still feel sadness, happiness, love, joy, fear. We feel it all. It's just on a different level. And so as a kid, I experienced these things. I don't know. I may have been bullied as a child. If I was, I don't remember. I had bigger fish to fry. I was seeing purple aliens, and my best friend, in my mind, was a 14-year-old girl named Christine who was doing heroin. Not exactly the most normal of imaginary friends for a 6-year-old, but here we are. I could tell you exactly where she lived, where she came from, what her backstory was. As I got a little older, to be about 12, I thought that she may have been a ghost. Like I said in my previous video about Jeremy, it seemed like the only logical explanation. Not to mention that when I was 12, my parents showed me The Sixth Sense, and that just blew my mind that someone might be able to actually see dead people. And I thought that, hey, that must be me. So that was a lot of my childhood. I do remember having a happy childhood. I was able to experience so much joy in the face of such intensity. And I think a lot of that is because I had such a loving family that really, really cared about me and made me feel wanted and adored no matter what situation I was going through. And I can't thank them enough. Mom and Dad, if you're watching, thanks so much for making me feel like I was just another person, another kid going through another day, and that there was nothing to be afraid of inside of me. Thanks for that. And now I can say that I've had this happy childhood, and maybe I got even a little bit more of a special childhood because I got to see and feel things that most people never understand or experience. And so that's just a little bit about what I went through. And my parents got me into therapy at the age of 12. It was pretty obvious from that point that I had some sort of psychosis happening. And, you know, I didn't really, how do you explain psychosis to a 12-year-old? It's kind of one of those things you're just like, this is just going to be over somebody's head. And it was. I don't think I completely understood the concept of psychosis until my late teens. I mean, you can explain to someone that they're seeing things that aren't there, but that doesn't quite encompass the whole truth of what it really is. But, you know, I had these amazing parents and family that made me feel loved and wanted all the time, and didn't make me feel any different. And because of that, I was able to grow up and have all this happiness in my past. And I can't say thank you enough for that. And my childhood may have been strange, but I'm strange, so it fit me. So, as my friend, I have a friend who says, respect the weird. And I do very much respect the weird. And if you don't, life gets boring. It gets boring so fast. So if you want to read more about my day-to-day struggles and victories, triumphs and fails, then check out Misadventures of a Schizophrenic at WordPress.com. Sorry, that's Misadventures of a Schizophrenic.wordpress.com. And if you would like to learn more about mental illness in general, find out where you can volunteer and contribute to the struggle, you can check out NAMI.org. And they have a lot more information than I could ever give you. And they are a nation-based institution, so you can really learn a lot from them. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time on Misadventures of a Schizophrenic, where I will just be telling you more and more of what it is to be in the life of a schizophrenic. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. And be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more.